My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Please go ahead and share my latest Daily Caller article, Free Julian Assange. I had the great pleasure of being shared, and of the article being retweeted by WikiLeaks, and it's a great honor for me. That's like my Pulitzer Prize right there when that happens, and I've had the honor of being retweeted and having my work shared by WikiLeaks and even Julian Assange. So I'm very, very happy about that and honored. Free Julian Assange. The article's below. Mueller's team leaked questions. Now they're trying to blame Trump, and they're saying that there were grammatical errors, so it must have been Trump. This is absolutely insane. First of all, we know that James Comey, James Clapper, and others throughout working for Hillary Clinton, essentially working for Clinton, have leaked information about what Trump said, and oh my God, he called this country a you-know-what. He was mean to people. Oh my God, he's on the ropes. He's really worried about Stormy Daniels. All of these anonymous sources, all of these quote-unquote, they've taken, not only have they taken evidence and twisted and mangled the definition of evidence to be hearsay and gossip found in the Steele dossier, which is completely unverified, which is the reason BuzzFeed is actually suing the DNC because it's getting sued for defamation. Don't get me started about that. They've taken evidence and they've said, well, just wait. We have to go ahead and investigate forever. One day we'll find evidence of a crime that we haven't even proven has taken place yet. If that isn't convoluted enough, that's exactly what the deal is. There's no crime. Trump is not under a criminal target. He's not the target of a criminal probe. They're not investigating Trump for any crimes that he's alleged to have committed because they don't even know if the DNC was hacked. Now we have, this was 28 hours ago, April 30th, 2018. It's now May 1st, 2018. Washington, Robert S. Mueller III. This is the New York Times. Okay? This is the New York Times before it was known that Mueller's team leaked the questions. It's absolutely hilarious. And we know now that the Steele dossier was leaked to the media from James Comey and James Clapper through Jake Tapper and others at CNN. Even Mother Jones journalists were in on it. This was all before it was verified, which it's never been verified. What they've done is not only vile, it's absurd. What they've done is simply, they've gone ahead, they've purchased opposition research that's just gossip and hearsay, and the recollections or whatever of Russian operatives that MI6 agent Christopher Steele is said to have worked with, but he never met them. So he did it all through the phone and email. Then what they've done throughout this whole entire charade and farce of an investigation or a scandal is they have leaked strategic information, or they've leaked information to the press. The Steele dossier, there's no doubt. We know Andrew McCabe right now is a criminal referral because he leaked information about criminal probes that eventually he told agents to just stand down from. And he did so. The Office of Professional Responsibility, the rebuttal is, well, he's telling people about the Clinton Foundation probes. Doesn't that mean he's honest? No, he was doing it to save face. That's what the Office of Professional Responsibility stated. He was doing it simply because his wife got $700,000 to $1.2 million from Terry McAuliffe, who is Hillary Clinton's money man, Virginia governor, big fundraiser for the Democratic Party. If the tables were turned and a Republican fundraiser, governor, gave the FBI agent's wife $700,000 to $1.2 million, and that FBI agent actually did his job and indicted Clinton, or worked to indict Clinton, you better believe it would just be complete and utter pandemonium. This is a profanity alert for my almost 5-minute crowd. These are the biggest bunch of fucking liars and fools and cheats and just butthurt assholes, which I guess is a I'm being repetitive, but that's what Democrats are. They can't stand that they lost. So now we know that James Comey, first of all, he leaked classified memos, and he lied under oath about exonerating Clinton before she was interviewed by Peter Strzok, by the way, who said there was an insurance policy they spoke about with Andrew McCabe in his office. All of these people have leaked information, from Andrew McCabe to James Comey leaking information to James Clapper leaking information. And they get caught and they say, well, they're all liars. James Clapper and James Comey and John Brennan all lied under oath. Think about it. Just think about it for a second. James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, and Andrew McCabe all lied under oath. That is a fact. That is not speculation. That's not hyperbole. James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, and Andrew McCabe all lied under oath. That's what we're working with. That's what we're dealing with as a country. And it's now yet another attempt at intimidating Trump. Why would Trump leak questions? How does that help him? This riled up the hornet's nest of disillusioned, disgruntled, angry, frustrated Democrats yesterday. They were so happy. They're like, yeah, he's going to answer these questions. Oh. The New York Times now the New York Times is working with with Trump. Now they're actually trying to help Trump. Mueller, this is the article. Mueller has dozens of inquiries for Trump in broad quest on Russia ties and obstruction. Okay, the obstruction narrative is absolutely ridiculous. You have this one guy, a legal scholar, legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin on CNN. No disrespect to Mr. Toobin. Mr. Toobin at CNN has yet to accuse Trump of a specific crime, yet he continually brings up Watergate. And then Mr. Toobin, Watergate was a break-in, then a cover-up. We don't even know if the DNC was hacked. There wasn't a moderate to high confidence assessment that the Watergate building was broken into, that the Democratic National Committee office was broken into. There was no question about that. That happened. We don't even know if the DNC was hacked. So you have legal analysts, whether it's Jeffrey Toobin or whatever, they're like, well, there's an obstruction of justice. He can't obstruct justice. It's an investigation that is now running on bureaucracy. It's not an investigation that started from an actual crime. And it's certainly not an investigation that started from a crime that Trump committed, because nobody has ever accused him of committing a crime. It's all vague terms like, well, ties, Russia ties, working with he wanted collusion. There's not even a legal statute against collusion. If there was, then you would indict Clinton. But now they're going back and they're saying, oh, Stormy Daniels, oh my God, he spent $130,000 for Federal Election Commission. He broke the Federal Election Commission laws. That was a sex with a porn star. They're trying to tie that into a campaign donation. We don't even know if it can even be viewed as a campaign donation, but we know that money was funneled through the DNC, $80+ million from down-ticket Democrats and from money raised for the Democratic Party, funneled through the DNC into Hillary Clinton's campaign. We also know that Hillary Clinton funneled $9 million through her law firm, Perkins Coie, or Co., or whatever, to pay for not only the Steele dossier, but for CrowdStrike. That law firm commissioned CrowdStrike and the Steele dossier. That law firm not only paid Fusion GPS to begin to basically purchase a FISA warrant against Carter Page and the whole Russia probe nonsense, but what they also did was purchase CrowdStrike. They commissioned CrowdStrike from that money. The law firm did. They also purchased their own DNC hack, fabricated DNC hack. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC for some kind of evidence to protect itself from Russian bankers and an entrepreneur who are suing BuzzFeed. The only reason Michael Cohen's not going ahead with the lawsuit, he was never in Prague. That's like one of the dumb things in the Steele dossier. Oh, all these people were speaking to Russian operatives. the dossier, nobody has ever linked Trump to WikiLeaks and WikiLeaks to the DNC to Russia. Nobody knows how the emails were obtained by WikiLeaks. Download speeds, when you talk about William Binney, when you talk about of the NSA, Ray McGovern of the CIA, veteran intelligence professionals for sanity, the forensicator, Adam Carter, two brilliant cybersecurity analysts, Elizabeth Voss, a brilliant journalist at Disobedient Media. They've debunked all of these things. It was the download speeds alone could not have, it couldn't have been a hack. And so that's one of the big reasons. So today on Twitter, like, one guy's like, I'm going to tell all the Bernie groups that you're not a Bernie supporter. Like, they already know. I don't care. If you're an admin for a Bernie Sanders group on Facebook, just know that I still love Bernie Sanders as a human being, but I'm voting for Trump, and I'm a Trump supporter. If Bernie Sanders groups don't want me there, I respect that decision. If they do want me there, I respect it even more. That's fine. I don't always post, but when I do post, there's a history that I have with the Bernie Sanders movement. If people think that it's, that I was, oh my God, clickbait or whatever, stating that Bernie Sanders is going to win is what everyone should have thought, including Bernie. And being upset and indignant and willing to fight is what everyone should have done, including Bernie, after he was cheated. None of this, well, let's go back, we have to fight the bigger power, Trump, No, you lost. And so I respect Bernie, and I still love Bernie as a human being. But when that bird came down, we were all crying, and we were all, tears of joy and, hope for the future. And, Debbie Wasserman Schultz ate it like Alice Cooper. She just tried to, or Clinton tried to pick it off. Didn't work, though. That bird and other birds have been pooping on the Democratic Party forever, and since then. So, yeah, so one guy's like, I'm going to tell all your Bernie groups that you to not have you there. I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead. Believe me, if people don't think that I've contributed to the Bernie Sanders movement at one point, if they think that my contributions were less than something pretty, it was 100 published articles in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon, clearly stating exactly why Clinton could not win. And I was also on CNN and MSNBC stating the same things. And back then, people said it was clickbait that Bernie was going to win the primary and would have won the presidency. Now they say, oh, look, the polls show he would have won the presidency. He would have won the Democratic nomination. I was right then. So, and Clinton will get indicted. The only knock on me is that I'm clickbait because I'm saying Clinton is indicted. Primarily. She will get eventually indicted. So, I was right about the pulse of what was going on. If Debbie Wasserman Schultz cheated Bernie, or if Andrew McCabe and James Comey and James Clapper and John Brennan presided over the biggest cover-up in U.S. history, that's not my, I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not all-knowing. I have the pulse of what's going on. Anyway, the point is, regarding this nonsense now, Mueller has a dozen questions. Now we have all the questions, Mueller. Trump says disclosure Trump calls disclosure of Mueller questions in Russia investigation disgraceful. So the New York Times is not. President Trump on Tuesday said it was disgraceful that questions the special counsel would like to ask him were publicly disclosed. As he incorrectly noted, there were no questions about collusion. Well, who cares if there were, number one? Now they're trying to say that Trump leaked the questions because it looks so horrible that the questions were leaked in the first place. They can't even leak. They can't even leak right. They can't even take a leak correctly. They can't even leak right. They can't cheat right. They just lose. Don't bring up President Obama. President Obama in 2008, I'm like it's like I'm crying all the time. I used to be when I was a liberal, because I thought that there was like hope and change. And so when Obama was elected, yeah, I shed tears of joy also. And those tears turned into not only disillusionment, but realize that, all the emotion that you give on the left is taken, repackaged, and put into a Democratic Party that is, in terms of foreign policy, run by neoconservatives. That alone is reason to vote for Trump. So when people, there's a lot of people on social media, how can you be a Trump supporter? How could you go from Bernie to Trump? Very clearly, just tell people if they ask you, H.A. Goodman what a loser, and this is another dumb word, what a grifter. If I'm a grifter, there's capital GRIFTERS Democrats. They're the biggest grifters on the planet. This is like a word, now it's like pretty dumb word, but he's a grifter. He's a grifter. Why? He said Bernie was going to win. Yeah, he was cheated. He said Clinton was going to get indicted. Ask Andrew McCabe. Ask him. James Comey. It's but they never call CNN grifters. These are the same people who never, but anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is this. Where was I going? The point is that the left, they have all this emotion. Yet if you give emotion, at least give it to somebody who fights and who is less hawkish or militant. Then, in terms of foreign policy, the biggest threat to the planet, even Stephen Hawking said this. And Noam Chomsky also. They both put climate change as second. And I'm not sure if Chomsky puts climate change as second, but I know that Stephen Hawking puts nuclear war first. You cannot, these haters, these whiny, petty, just petty haters are like, Trump doesn't deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Well, why not? If Obama presided over this, or Clinton, it would be on every Time magazine cover, 5 straight weeks. Here's another picture. And we have to do it. It's 5 straight weeks. Obama presided over peace in the Korean Peninsula. Now President Trump is. This was Trump's foreign policy. And don't say he had nothing to do with it, because you said he was going to usher in nuclear war with North Korea. The Democrats did. The liberals, the people who hate Trump. Now he's presiding over peace. So which one? They're all over the place all the time. And the issue with people not understanding why a Bernie Sanders supporter would go to Trump. Bernie supporters, hardcore ones, they'll go to Trump, or they'll go to Jill Stein, or they'll go Green Party, or they'll vote Trump. Believe me, I wouldn't vote like Marco Rubio. I would just vote Green. Marco Rubio is like an establishment Democrat, but just on social issues, he's conservative. Maybe obviously other fiscal, he's conservative on other issues, but mainly in terms of foreign policy, I put foreign policy as the biggest concern of my biggest concern. And the steel tariffs I'm for, actually. Listen to the steel CEOs. They'll give you a million reasons why. So the economy is good. Trump is, there's deregulation. Yeah, okay. So where's the green economy for the Democratic Party? But he's better. That's it. The rhetoric doesn't match. The alarmist rhetoric on the Democratic side doesn't match what politicians on the left do. They talk about how climate change, and I believe in climate science. I think that climate change is real. But if indeed we're all going to die within 100 years or 200 years, you would think that Democrats would say, let's have a circular green economy. They don't. The equivalent of 8 to 10 Keystone XL pipelines were built under President Obama, yet he opposed the Keystone XL pipeline, which was good. But the equivalent pipelines just as large were built without any discussion. Fracking boomed under President Obama. So then don't go ahead and bring up, you bring up regulations, and then you don't realize that, fossil fuels are still huge under Democrats, and pipelines are built, and then there's the issue of Standing Rock. What did Obama do? We can go on forever. There are differences, but they're not major differences between both parties. except in terms of foreign policy and perhaps some other issues, obviously. But foreign policy is one of the big reasons I'm voting for Trump. He's far less militant and hawkish. And also, he's taking on the FBI. He's taking on people like McCabe. This is a profanity alert. This is a profanity alert. How fucking stupid do you think we are? How fucking stupid do you think people in the United States or around the world, how stupid do you have to be to believe James Comey or James Clapper or John Brennan or Jake Tapper or any of them? Like I said, they all lied under oath. James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, Andrew McCabe. So how stupid do you have to be to believe them? How stupid do you have to be if you are on the Democratic Party side to say, well, you know what? Trump did something. We don't know what he did, but the intelligence community agrees. Well, who is the intelligence community? 4 people who lied under oath. Then you have Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Then you have the Steele dossier that was purchased by Clinton. Then you have FISA abuses. Then you have all of these issues, and you have zero evidence. That's the issue. That's the main key to all of this. Where's the evidence? We have evidence of Clinton's crimes. We have evidence. So let's just go ahead. So President Trump on Tuesday said it was disgraceful that questions the special counsel would like to ask were publicly disclosed, and he incorrectly noted that there were no questions about collusion. The president said collusion was a phony crime. The questions obtained by the Times came from a person outside Mr. Trump's legal team and appeared to seek answers to Trump's motivations behind some of his tweets outside his legal team. That's pretty vague. That's interesting how... What do you know about Sally Yates' meeting about... What do you know about Sally Yates' meeting about Mr. Flynn? That would not be from Trump. Trump's going to pardon Flynn. As he should. General Flynn is an honorable man. He didn't do anything wrong. They went after him. He was one of the first people they went after. Trump's team would not leak the questions to then show how despicable Mueller was. It's actually somebody on the Democratic side who leaked the questions, just like the Steele dossier was leaked by Mother Jones journalists and by James Comey and Clapper. How was the decision made to fire Mr. Flynn on February 13, 2017? So just the Flynn questions alone would not have come from Trump, because he's going to pardon General Flynn. He has to. He actually should clear General Flynn. He never did anything wrong. Flynn was interviewed by Peter Strzok, who, I don't know, just happened to interview Madam Cyberhack. Questions related to former FBI Director Comey. This is ridiculous. He wouldn't... So the counterspin now is that the New York Times would actually not only would publish something favorable to Trump, accept a leak from Trump, somebody associated with Trump, to help Trump. And then the counterspin is also these questions Trump wanted out there. It's so ridiculous. The questions obtained by a person outside Mr. Trump's legal team and appear to seek answers to Mr. Trump's motivations behind some of his tweets, his thinking about his relationships with the closest advisors. It is yet another failed propaganda attempt. The questions that were leaked were meant initially to force a meeting or to kind of show Trump as a person who who refuses to answer these questions. Then, when it looked so horrible for Democrats, it's now, it was leaked from Trump. Mueller's former assistant says grammatical errors prove leaked questions came from Trump, The Hill, because, Mueller, in addition to allowing yellow cake uranium to be shipped out of the country as FBI director, he is just the grammar aficionado of the entire planet. Nobody, if there's one thing you could say about Robert Mueller, is he will never, ever make a grammatical error. Give me your thoughts below. Michael Zeldin, another CNN legal analyst. Unbelievable. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts below. I can go on forever. I'm going all over the place, but share the article below. Free Julian Assange. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much.